Welcome back, everyone, to the Stay Introverted Podcast. I am your co-host, Jay Coleman.
And I'm your other co-host, Steph Laffey.
And as always, we just want to take a minute to say thank you to everyone for joining us on this podcasting journey. Just two introverts shooting the breeze, talking stuff. Yeah.
That's exactly it. And try not to get frustrated with me today because I have a very angry barking puppy in the background. So I might be like muting and unmuting. Hopefully not. He's not listening today.
Yes, that is our friend of the show, Noki, right?
Gnocchi, yeah.
Yes,
Although I just learned that I don't say it correctly, but we can get into that a little bit later. But anyway,
right.
this is not about me. Today we have a guest. We have a guest.
Yes, it's not about Noki. It's about our other friend of the show, whose name we will say properly.
Yeah.
Please welcome
Yes.
Miss Ashley Nicole. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you.
Yes. Thank you.
And I must say, I definitely appreciate you rocking the Introvert No Show shirt, rather.
Yes. Yes. This is the
I have that one too.
First purchase. Yeah, I got this one, and then I got the sweatshirt, and so it's time for me to do a refresh for the new season. So I'll be hitting you up, Jay.
I appreciate it.
We love to see it.
I do have a question. Is purple your favorite color?
It is. Purple is my jam.
Good to know.
Yeah.
No, because I see you rocking in purple. You're an entrepreneur as I am, which we definitely get into. And I see that your website has a lot of purple, so I always want to ask that.
Yes. Purple is my favorite color. And I want to say it started back when... So Purple Rain is my all-time favorite movie. So I love Prince. I love the song Purple Rain. So I think it started there. And then I just fell in love with purple. And I'm sure talk about this as well, but I have rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune condition where the immune system attacks, healthy joints and everything, causes pain, inflammation, swelling, all of that kind of stuff. But anyways, the colors for RA are actually purple and blue. So those are the colors of my logo for my business, because the name of my business is RA Warrior Fitness. So I help women who have RA or autoimmune conditions just like myself to get healthier and fit through faith, food, and fitness. And so purple is everywhere in my brand. And yeah, purple's my jam. It's my power color.
Purple rain. All right, that's all I can do.
Right. I actually do too for probably the 1,000th time.
Nice.
Yeah. It's such a good song. And I think I remember going to a show in Detroit once, and it was like a tribute to Prince. Mm-hmm. And it was like a techno show, and they did like throughout the entire show, they were like weaving in Purple Rain to every track. It was so cool. So that's what's coming up for me when you say that.
Yes.
So
I think the closest that I got to experiencing it was the Timberwolves in Minnesota. Every now and then they'll change their jerseys to match to do like a Prince theme, which is awesome. It is very awesome. Prince obviously from Minnesota, but yes, definitely an icon. But speaking of icons, tell me a little bit more, or tell us a little bit more about how you got your start with your company. Like, what was the inspiration behind it?
Yeah. So, where do I start? So the pandemic happened in 2020, right? And so a lot happened leading up to that. So let me rewind. So I started having issues with my joints and everything when I was in college. And so I didn't get my diagnosis until 6 years later. So from age 21 to 27, I went undiagnosed. And so from there, I had severe joint damage in my hands and wrists, couldn't be reversed. So by the time I got to a rheumatologist, she was like, we can definitely stop the progression, but we can't reverse the damage that's been done. And so anyways, fast forward, we went through a process trying to find different medications that work for me and all that good stuff. And in that process, you know, I grew kind of frustrated trying to figure out my whole health and wellness thing. And there was no one out there showing how you can actually live and thrive with an autoimmune condition. At least I didn't see anybody. And people just didn't talk about autoimmune diseases really. And so, with trying to get my own health and wellness in check, I fell in love with the process. And I was like, you know, I really want to help other women like me to become healthier and fit, to show them that they can have modifications and still get fit, to know that what they eat absolutely matters, to know that movement truly is medicine. And so I essentially became who I needed when I was diagnosed. And so, in that process, I wasn't really supported by a couple of close people that were close to me that I feel should have supported me and my vision to want to become a certified personal trainer and start a business. And so eventually I had to release those negative people, those negative things. And so needless to say, you can kind of read between the lines. I ended up getting a divorce on my 36th birthday. And that was in 2019. Fast forward to January 2020, not knowing the pandemic was going to do what it did. I was like, this is the year. Who is Ashley Nicole? This is a whole new start. Like, let's get it popping. And so literally I, prayed to God. I was like, okay, this is the year. I want to use the gifts that you've given me. And so, he put in my spirit, RA Warrior Fitness. And so from there, I started building a website. I got with a graphic designer to create my logo, got my LLC, and still not knowing how I was going to do this. I was just going through the motions, trying to be obedient. And little did I know the pandemic was going to happen. The world literally shut down in March. Like, I remember March 17th is when I was working full time, and we started working from home for what we thought was going to be a couple of weeks. And it ended up being forever. Well, for me, I ended up losing that job. But anyways, everything just aligned perfectly. I ended up launching RA Warrior Fitness on March 27th. So I just celebrated my 4-year anniversary a couple of weeks ago. And it's been amazing. And so since then, I've been able to help over 300 women to improve their quality of life through faith, food, and fitness. So everything that I learned in my journey, I applied it, put it into a program, and I'm helping other women to thrive and rise above it. So that's how it all got started.
That is awesome.
That's amazing.
Yes. Congrats on 4 years and
thank you.
To many more years ahead. To our listeners, definitely check out Ashley's website. It's awesome. The blog, as you can tell, I've been on there. The blog is awesome. I got a couple of shirts. I got a shirt and a hoodie. I'm a parent who does have RA as well. So I'm definitely down for the cause. It's definitely awesome.
Thank you so much for your support, Jay. I appreciate that.
No worries. And I thank you for yours. It's one of the things that definitely is important to me in general, which is helping out fellow creatives, fellow introverts, all that good stuff. I do have a question. As I actually I'm learning more about RA. As I said before, my mom has it.
Yes.
Is there any particular, age that one can get it, or does it matter? I guess in other words, is it something that typically happens later in life, or can it happen at any point in life?
Yeah, it can happen at any age. Literally, it does not discriminate. Kids as young as toddler age can actually have it. If you could probably Google juvenile arthritis, because I know I work closely with the Arthritis Foundation, and they have specific programs for JRA, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. And so you can get it pretty young because it's an autoimmune condition. So it's different. RA is different from osteoarthritis. So osteoarthritis, that's normal wear and tear. That's arthritis that you get from maybe years of playing sports, years of running, and then your knee, it's just, hurting bone on bone or whatever. So that's normal wear and tear. But autoimmune is where your immune system just attacks the joints and the cartilage, and it just creates inflammation um and pain and swelling and just all of these things, stiffness, brain fog, because of how you're feeling. You know, a lot of people suffer from brain fog, and then because of all of that, depression, anxiety can come along with that. So it's a lot. It can be very debilitating. I thank God that mine is not debilitating. It has been like before I got officially diagnosed. I was in my dorm room. I remember waking up, and leading up to that, I was having issues with my hands. They were just very sore and achy, and I thought it was because I was working in retail, constantly dealing with clothes, folding clothes, played the saxophone for years. I was like, my hands, they just tired. But no, it was more to it than that. Like literally, I woke up in my dorm room, and what I felt in my hands, I felt in my whole entire body. So getting up to get dressed, to brush my teeth, to comb my hair, to bathe myself, to clothe myself was excruciating. Like, it's just crazy. It just took over my whole body. And then to go to urgent care for them to just tell me, take some Tylenol, take some Aleve, you'll be fine. So, you know, I had to deal with the medical gaslighting part a little bit too. But yeah, so to answer your question, it can happen at any age. Now, women are 3 times more likely to get it than men. You don't hear too many men talk about rheumatoid arthritis, but it mostly affects women at any age. And my mom and grandmother had it too. Like my mom, hers became active after my youngest brother. So after her 3rd child, it came. She was like 28 years old. And then my grandmother, hers didn't come until later in life, but mine came much sooner.
So were you already kind of aware that it might be something that you had to look out for?
You know what? I should have been, but I think I was kind of in denial because I watched my mom struggle with it. Like I remember there were days when she couldn't pick up my brother, and I had to help take care of my brother because I think I was around 11 when he was born. So I was old enough to, you know, to help out, but I was like, there's just no way that this is what I have this young, you know, because I wasn't really educated on it. But yeah, there should have been an inkling there, but I was in denial until I officially got diagnosed.
I'm just thinking, you know, it makes me wonder, I'm like, how many things are in my family that I'm pretending aren't going to happen to me? Like, Parkinson's, what else? Alzheimer's, cataracts.
Yeah, you got to be mindful of that stuff. And that's the thing, is really educating yourself on those things and figuring out what you can do now for prevention. Because when I was going to ask you that, food, what you eat, what you consume is everything. Like what you eat, you're either feeding a disease or you're fighting one, and you want to continue to fight anything with food. So just eat, you know, staying away from the processed stuff. Sugar is the devil. I love it, but it's the devil. And just, you know, all things in moderation, but, you know, eating clean at least 90% of the time. You know, your lean proteins, your vegetables, your fruits. Any time that you can get whole foods is absolutely the best thing. Yeah.
I'm already doing that. So good.
Awesome. You're doing the thing. Drinking the water and
So was there, I mean, in hindsight, like was there anything, and I don't want to like start making you like have regrets. I'm sure you've had these conversations with yourself many times.
Yes.
But in hindsight, what could you have done differently to possibly prolong your diagnosis?
What could I have done differently? Like before I officially got diagnosed. I definitely could have, like what I just said, like really paid attention to what I was eating, because let me tell you, like before I got diagnosed, I was in a phase where I gained 60 pounds. So I was actually newly married. I got married young at 23. And so, I was doing all the cooking and we were going out to eat. I was going to happy hours, not realizing that getting those 2-for-1 margaritas was like so much sugar, like literally inflammation, just inflammation. I was drinking it. And so if I had known that what I was eating was doing me more harm than good, I would have changed it a whole lot sooner, especially when it came to alcohol and going to those happy hours. Like, it was crazy how much I was consuming.
I believe it. I'm right there with you.
Foods and stuff. I was literally feeding the disease.
Yeah,
feeding it.
You're so right about you're still on point about food being one of the things that you have to look out for. And it's hard because particularly if you're not preparing your own meals every day. If you're eating processed food or eating out, it's hard because you don't know what's in it. So it becomes that much more important. Like every now and then, my mom, she tries, what we both do, trying to make sure that, we cook more, eat more food that we prepare here. But every now and then she'll, people want to want to have a cheat meal, want to have a break. But it's hard, and you don't know until you wake up and your hand is swollen. And it's just one of those things. And unfortunately, that's just kind of how it is. So it's tough. Seeing her, she had already in her hand, and I think now it's spread to her hip. But food is definitely the one thing I think that it's always going to be a challenge, because again, you don't even so-called fresh and organic food, you don't always know if they say it's fresh, they say it's organic, but and there have been times where my mom, she's she actually track what she eats. She reads labels. She reads calories and ingredients, and every now and then she'll be doing the right thing, but her hand will mess up, because it's like, okay, maybe it'll have she'll look at the package again, and it'll just be very general, because they don't tell you how much of a certain ingredient is in there. Sometimes they're not completely honest about a particular ingredient.
Right.
So yeah, you're 100% correct. Actually, food it's something that you have to keep track of, but it's definitely very hard sometimes.
Yeah, it is. And I even tell my clients, like, definitely have yourself a treat. Like, I allow myself one treat meal a week, whether it be a dessert or just, something I really want. Like this past weekend, I had a burger and some fries, like a big double cheeseburger and some fries. And trust me, I felt it later. I was like, why did I do that? So you just kind of have to know what you're getting yourself into, but, give yourself that one cheat and get right back on track. And sometimes you'll realize, maybe I don't want to cheat today because I don't want to be in pain tomorrow. You know what I mean? So it's just one thing. You have to take a day at a time and just, be mindful. It's called mindful eating, so yeah.
And then I think also it's like going off of that, it's important to recognize like how certain foods make you feel, and like understanding like I'm a sugaraholic. I love chocolate. But I'm getting to the point where I don't even like the feeling of how sugar feels in my body, like too much sugar. I don't like how it feels in my body, to the point where it's literally not worth it. Like same with alcohol. I hate how I feel drunk. And so it's just not worth it to me. Like I'll have a couple glasses of champagne, but that's it. Like I can't do liquor. I can't. And I used to love it.
Yeah, same, Steph, same. Like, it has hurt my heart, but I have come to the realization that I think I need to just give up drinking. But like, I'm good like you with champagne, just a couple of glasses, and even a little red wine, but I can't have more than one, and the liquor is just, I think my days are over with that.
And it's just knowing your body.
As the president of the Stay Sober Committee, I welcome both of you to my side. It's fun over here. It's fun over here. Stay a while.
Right. And listen, this is how I learned that you can have fun without alcohol. So I'm also a professional bodybuilder. So I started bodybuilding in 2021. So I did 2 shows in 22 and 2 shows last year. I'm in my off season now and I'm enjoying it. So anyways, earned my pro card on the first try. But of course, like there's no alcohol at all. I couldn't drink. Like I ate everything clean. And that's how I can be so disciplined now, because I know what it takes to have that type of physique. And I know I can't walk around shredded like that all the time, and that's fine. But, like I can see how alcohol, it slows down your metabolism. For one, it makes you feel like and it makes you feel like crap. And so I'm like, it's just not even worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm gonna drink, I want to have a couple. Like I want to feel the buzz, but like the amount that I need to feel the buzz is not worth the stomach ache tomorrow, or like the hangover.
The dehydration.
See, I'm the same way about buffalo wings. I love buffalo wings. I'm not at the point where I don't like the way they make me feel, because I always feel good afterwards. So that's okay. On that part, I can't really relate. But to your point,
enjoy it while it lasts.
But to your point, as I've gotten older, I realized, I don't need the 20 piece. I've been kind of scaling back. 12, 10. I don't need nuclear spice. Subatomic is okay. So, I'm cutting back a little bit, trying to.
I'm proud of
there
you.
You go.
I'm trying.
That's the key. I'm proud of you.
Eat until you're 80% full. You do not need to eat so much where you feel like you have to go to sleep.
Exactly.
Afterwards. Like
that was my biggest problem.
Yes, I am proud of myself.
Yeah.
What do you say to people? So that was my biggest issue, and it's still something I struggle with a bit, is overindulgence. I eat as if food is like never gonna be a thing after this meal. Like I eat like it's my last supper. And I've gotten better. So I've been doing a pretty strict nutrition plan all year, and I took a 10-day break in between rounds. And I found that my overindulgence seemed to have died down. I actually ate until I was full. Okay. But it's still something that I'm working on. So what do you say to people like me who tend to just eat until they're going to pass out?
Yeah. So honestly, I feel like it's a mindset thing there too. Like, you have to ask yourself, okay, do I feel satisfied? Like, can I stop now? Because you kind of want to eat into the point where right before you just feel full, because your food is supposed to energize you. It's not supposed to make you drowsy, want to go to sleep or go lay down. Like your food is fuel. So that's how you have to think about it. Like, okay, I've eaten enough. I feel energized. So, I can eat the rest of this later or whatever. Or you could also try just eating smaller meals, because I eat 5-6 times a day, just smaller portion meals, just enough to give me energy and get me through until my next meal. Right. So that's what I would say is definitely just, again, going back to the mindful eating and just knowing that you're eating to fuel your body, not to overfill.
I've never heard anybody say it like that, so thank you. Okay. Like I'm going to be picturing like a gas odometer thing in my head. Like, what percent am I?
Yes, 80%. 80% is absolutely all you need.
That's brilliant. Wow.
So you mentioned that you were you've gotten into bodybuilding a few years ago, and as you mentioned also. Fitness is one of the pillars of your business. So can you kind of expand on just how fitness and just staying active helps those with RA?
Yeah. So I always say, it's 2 statements I say, and I won't say that I coined them. I'm pretty sure I heard them from somewhere, but I say it all the time. Movement is medicine. That's the first one. And number 2, motion is lotion. It's so true. So true. Like literally, if you think about it, even for someone who doesn't have RA or joint issues, if you're sedentary and if you eventually get up after you sit for hours, like you're going to be stiff, right? Like you're going to, feel very stiff and uncomfortable. So it's important that you move, especially for a person who has RA or any type of joint issues. Because movement is medicine, it just feels so much better. And the biggest misconception that a lot of people think is that, exercise is going to make it worse. Exercise is just I might hurt myself. If I strength train, that's going to, make my joints feel worse. But no, it actually makes it better. It makes it better. And that's what a lot of doctors fail to tell their patients, is that, exercise truly is necessary if you have this condition. And really, it should be for everybody. Like, everybody should strive to, at least have some type of intentional movement or exercise. I would say 3 to 4 days a week. And it doesn't have to be anything strenuous. You can start with walking. If you like to swim, swimming is amazing, especially for people who have joint issues, because the buoyancy of the water really takes a lot of the pressure off of the joints. And I did a webinar with the Arthritis Foundation recently where this physical therapist was talking about pickleball. Like, I've been hearing so much about pickleball.
Yes, it's everywhere.
That is a good workout. Dancing, yoga, just thinking about different things, because there is no one size fit all. I'll say that, each person has to find what works for them, because as far as lifting weights and bodybuilding, I didn't wake up like that. Like, I didn't start like that. Okay. So when I was at my heaviest, I joined Jazzercise. And so for my people who are ages, 50 and up, you all have heard about Jazzercise. Like, it is old school, but
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It's kind of like a old school Zumba, kind of like,
I love that.
What's Richard Simmons type? I don't know. It's one of those kind of classes.
Oh, that's so fun.
But yeah, so like I started with that, and then, once I got comfortable with that, and I was like, okay, now I would like to, venture out to a gym and try to see what lifting weights is about. But all of that is super important. You just got to find what works for you. Because my journey spans from, I started really getting serious about my health, I would say, in 2010. So for the past 14 years, like, I've been, I've evolved from one end of the spectrum to the other. And so, it's a process. It's a process. And a lot of people look at me now and they're like, oh, you're a bot. How do you do that? Like, I can barely, lift, this cup or whatever. And I'm like, you got to start somewhere. You got to start.
You got to start light. You got to start small.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I remember there was a time where my RA was so bad, picking up a cup like this was hard, and being able to grip it and hold it. Like,
Wow.
It just.
Do you think it really is like all mindset too? Because we talked about mindfulness. Yeah.
100%.
I think it comes down to like just training your mind to be like, I can do this. Let me prove it to myself, one rep at a time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's one thing I focus on in my program too, because my 3 pillars are faith, food, and fitness. And so that faith piece,
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
It's not just about, having faith in yourself, but also having faith, in a higher power. And I realize everybody may not be a Christian and believe in God, but still just having faith and knowing that you can accomplish the desires of your heart, and exercising your faith and mindset, whether that be, if you're a believer, through scripture, through listening to sermons or through meditation. You don't have to be religious to meditate, right? Prayer. Affirmations. I love positive affirmations, speaking kindly to yourself, listening to podcasts and just listening to things that are uplifting. Like, that really helps. self-help books, personal development. Like these are all things that I recommend, for my clients and that we actively work on is mindset, because, once you train your mind, your body will follow. It truly will. So you gotta exercise this muscle too.
Absolutely. And would you say also that the faith part includes having faith in the process? Because I know how frustrating it can be when it's like you're doing all the things and the scale's not going down, and you feel like crap.
Trust in the process. Yes. Because as I said, I mean, I didn't wake up as a bodybuilder. Like that took time. That was years in the making. But definitely believing that your situation to an extent is temporary, even though it is a lifelong condition, but you can still improve it and find ways to thrive with it, and knowing that the worst part of it won't last forever, but you've got to believe that and do your part to actually make the improvements, building those habits, being disciplined. Like it really takes work every day.
So question for you, when you got diagnosed about like with your diagnosis, wow.
Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis.
So when you got diagnosed, was there any part of you that felt kind of relieved that like, okay, now that I have this information, now I can make a plan?
Yes, absolutely. I did feel a sense of relief. And I told you my mom and grandmother had it too. So I was like, okay, this makes sense. I'll accept it now. And then from there, I was like, okay, what can I do to continue to improve and not let this take over my body? Like I instantly was like, what can I change? And once I got that diagnosis, that's when I started getting serious about what I was eating. I went and joined Weight Watchers and that jazzercise class. And I just, from there, just continued to evolve.
I love that.
Yeah, so I would say definitely, an inspiration to many folks out there, not just, folks who are introverted, folks who have RA, folks who may be thinking about starting their own business. So what do you tell, a person out there who is dealing with RA or is introverted or, is thinking about starting their own business or some combination, but who may be stuck or just filled with self-doubt? Like, what do you say to that person to just kind of keep them on the, keep them on the path?
So I would say your gift will make room for you, whether you have rheumatoid arthritis or whatever, whether you're introverted, extroverted, whatever, your gift will make room for you. There's room for you to do and have the desires of your heart. It just goes back to that belief and believing in yourself and just being committed to the process, because of course, they say faith without works is dead. It's true. Like you can wish and hope and pray all day long, but if you're not putting action and grind behind that, then you're just going to be stuck. So, even as an introvert, there are so many ways. Honestly, I feel like we're some of the smartest people on earth because we do know how to kind of state ourselves and, get focused and just really focus in on what we need to do without any distractions. And so, I would say just block out the noise. If God has put on your heart, what it is that you want to do, whether it's starting a business or starting your health and fitness journey, whatever it is, like commit to it and do the work to get to where you want to be. Because I was talking to a client just a couple of hours ago. She's also an introvert. She's so funny. I just added her to my app yesterday and she was like, Ashley, I saw all the people dropping all the stuff in there in the chat that they did their workouts and stuff, but I didn't know what to say. So I just didn't say nothing. I'm an introvert. I just didn't say. I was like, it's okay. It's fine. You're amongst friends, okay? You're amongst friends. So, so yeah, I was like, you could just add a little emoji that, claps and cheers them on. But anyway, so I was talking to her and I was telling her that, you want to visualize where you want to be. Like, visualize your future self. What is she wearing? What is she eating? What is she drinking? How does she feel? Like, visualize that. And I'm like, you need to do those things to become her right now, so don't wait. Like, everything that your future self is doing, do that right now. Hit your water goal, eat your anti-inflammatory foods, exercise intentionally, be active, just do all the things that that your future self is doing and is thriving at. And so that's what I would say.
I love that.
Visualize and do those things right now to get there.
And
I love that. I love the way that you described that. Like, because that's one of my biggest things that I'm working on right now is visualization. So how can I be Steph 8.0 today? Like, I don't have to, I might be at Steph 2.0 right now.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get to Steph 8.0. So
exactly.
How can I do what she would do?
Yes. So just visualize and just, I would say, Steph, even just write it down. Like, write down, like, what is she wearing? What is she doing? Like, where is she vacationing at? What is she doing for a living? Like, what types of things does she enjoy? Like literally write it down. There's so much power in writing stuff down. Like, I'm big into manifestation. Like, seriously. Like, even before I won my bodybuilding competition, like, I literally visualized myself up there on stage in that itty bitty bikini and my muscles. And I visualized that crown and like winning, and like it happened.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah. So.
And how soon after you had that visualization did it happen?
It took some months for sure, because I started training in December of 2021, and I had my first show, I think it was June. I think it was mid-June. Yeah. So I trained for 7 months. So I kept that vision alive until I got on that stage. Yeah. And then when I looked over and saw the trophies and the crown, I was like, that's me. That's mine. I claimed it.
So if somebody were to tell you when you got the day that you got your diagnosis, in X amount of time, you were going to win this crown for a fitness competition, what would you have said?
I don't think I would have believed him. With the mindset I had back then, like, I don't think I would have believed him. Like, I mean, I've done a lot of work on my mindset over the years, and like where I was then, like, I never would have imagined that I'd be here right now. Like, if you had asked me, I still would have been married with kids and all the things. But no, I am like an entrepreneur and like just doing all these things, a new author. Like, I wouldn't have believed if you told me that, Ashley, you gonna write a book one day. What?
Yes, please. Let's
tell us about your book.
Talk about this book, because I was scrolling on my IG page one day, and I just happened to see, wait a minute, Ashley Nicole is a co-author. I'm like, where did this come from? I didn't get no message, no reel, no smoke screen. It's just bam, author.
Honestly, it happened so fast. It happened so fast because I want to say that opportunity came along at the end of last year, and I think I submitted my affirmation and my chapter in January. So it happened so fast.
Wait,
and
so
honestly,
you're talking end of 2023? This all came.
It did. Yeah, it did. And it's all because I feel like I'm aligned with the right people. That's another thing. It's just making sure you're surrounding yourself with mentors and like-minded people who, are going places. And so one of my good friends that has been mentoring me for a while, she's the editorial manager of the Courageous Women's Magazine. And so Talisha Berry, she's actually the publisher. But anyways, so I got connected with Diana, And Diana was like, hey, we're looking for a group of women to join this book. The book is called I Am Worthy. And so the first section of it focuses on I am affirmations. And then the last part is like we all got to write a chapter pretty much talking about what we've gone through. And so it's a powerful, powerful book, 29 authors, 29 people that I collaborated with, and we all have such a unique story. Like these women have survived domestic violence. They've survived, other illnesses and cancers. And with me, I talk about my story with rheumatoid arthritis. And they survived, loss, losing loved ones, and like, just so many different stories. And really, it's so inspiring because we all come out victorious in the end. So it's sharing those dark moments that we had, but how we are worthy, how we survived, and how we were able to thrive and make it through it. And so it was just so divine that I was able to join this project and be a part of it, because it's everything that I stand for, speaking kindly to yourself and reciting these positive affirmations, and also just sharing my story of, how I turn my pain into purpose and power. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. You've just got to have the will to want to do so. So we actually came in, I think number one, Amazon bestseller on last Thursday. Yeah, so it's been very exciting, very exciting. So I should have my hard copies this week that I'm going to start selling on my website. But we were really
amazing
last week, so the book is available on Amazon. But if you want a hard copy,
congrats. Yeah, so Steph,
for sure. And how did that feel?
No, I'm just saying, we really got to invest in the Clapper or something, because this is amazing news. Like,
amazing.
Yes, you need one of them buttons that just have like people clapping. This is awesome.
Yeah. That's amazing. I was gonna ask, how did that did that feel like cathartic to just get your story on paper and like out into the world? Like, what was that like?
Yes. And it's not the first time that I've shared my story. I think the first time I was very open with my story was with Women's Health Magazine. I think it was back in 2020 is when I had my first opportunity to be in Women's Health Magazine.
Wow, that's a great opportunity.
And so, yes. So I shared my story there. And to be able to, and that was just like on the website, their web version. So to be able to like have a copy of the book and to know that other people are going to read it, like, it's just like, wow. Because one of my prayers is always, God, I just want you to enlarge my territory, and just get my story out to the people who need to see it, who need to be inspired. And it's amazing. It's amazing how that has happened. And I've also been able to use the Women's Health platform. Last year, I applied for this program called the Men's Health and Women's Health Strength and Diversity Initiative. And so out of hundreds of trainers, I was chosen one of 8. They chose 8 of us, 4 women, 4 men. And I've been able to share my story. I've been in Women's Health Magazine, I think 3 times, and Men's Health 1 time. And I flew to New York in January to do some content for them. And they just recently released that last week, how I was showing people who have knee pain how to correctly do a lunge and all that good stuff. So it's just amazing to use these different platforms to show that, hey, because that's the name of my chapter in the book is I have RA, but RA does not have me. So I say that all the time, just to show people you may have a certain condition or something, but it doesn't have you.
And that's an excellent thing to put on a shirt, which I have.
Yes, exactly.
Always plug in shirts.
Which I have, by the way.
That's right. I actually have it on a shirt. Jay, I need to be like you and promote my stuff more often, because you got
merch
on my website, but
I gotta get merch. from you. I already have plenty of his merch.
Yeah. So I need to, that's one thing I got to work on, y'all. That's another thing with being an entrepreneur, solopreneur. Like, I mean, you wear all the hats and y'all.
Talk to your boy. We can.
Well, this is your accountability on the podcast.
Yes.
That's right. I'm gonna do better with my marketing.
I am not an expert marketer by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, where I can provide help, where I can provide what I've learned, talk to me. I always try to, again, it's not much, but I always try to impart what I've learned because folks have made time and made space to tell me things. So talk to your boy.
And it's valuable. Yes. For sure. Yeah. So I'm gonna do better with that. I'm gonna hit you up, Jay. We'll have a side conversation.
Do you have "Movement is Medicine" on a shirt?
I don't.
Girl, that was the one I was gonna buy. There you go.
Now let me write that down. Movement is medicine. Motion is lotion. And I guess the reason why I hadn't thought about it is because I'm like, is somebody else? I need to make sure it's not. Is it copyrighted? A trademark. Trademark is the name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need to trademark. I love how we're just having like an impromptu business.
I mean, this is
whatever.
Look, this is introversion. We just dive right in. Just dive right in.
Right. It's a lot of stuff I can put on shirts because one thing I always say in my content, and even when I'm talking to my clients, is rise up warriors, rise up warriors. That's what I call my clients, warriors.
Yeah.
And so, that needs to go on a shirt. And it's on a shirt, but I need to revamp it.
Well, another one, I don't know if it's
there you go.
I don't know if it's on a shirt. It may not necessarily be for a shirt, it can be for something else, but the saying that you said before, your gift will make room for you. I like that. I like that. That can go on some merch.
It can.
Look at us.
Wow,
yes.
We're buying all of that.
We are creating merch for us to buy. It's awesome. I love it.
That's right. Dropping gems and not even knowing it. Okay.
I love it.
But honestly, I mean, that's how I come up with my designs. Like I just be out walking or I'll be having conversations or I think to myself and I'm like, like this thing this right here has probably, I think I told Steph, at least 100 different designs that I haven't even like started playing around with just because I'm constantly just anything and everything. Maybe someone thought of it. Okay, they ain't gonna think of it how I think of it. They don't know where I'm gonna take it somewhere else.
That's
but
right.
Yeah,
it's unique.
But yeah, like we got merch. Now you got a couple of ideas. That's what we do.
Yes. I'm gonna run with these. I am.
I can't wait. You'll have to let us know as soon as they're all out so we can buy
I will. I certainly will. Yes, for sure.
This is fun. I did not.
It was fun.
I was not expecting to like develop merch on the podcast. on the podcast. I know. At least not.
That's a first.
At least not for myself. Like to give someone else a merch idea. I was not expecting to do that, but I love it.
Yes. Awesome.
So when we invite people to the podcast, we'll let them know, anything could happen. We might design your next $1 million shirt. You never know.
You never know. You never know.
And all we ask in return is a thank you and some buffalo wings. Maybe a free shirt.
Okay. I got you. Now, where do you like your wings from? What's your
see, I've been asked if
you're gonna be making requests, you gotta be ready for that question.
That's true. You're absolutely right.
Man.
See, the problem is like I live in Massachusetts now, so my wing spots that I take to go to just they ain't hitting. I will say though, Wingstop is very underrated for yes, I don't.
Listen, Wingstop. I was wondering if you gonna say Wingstop. Wingstop.
They take care of your boy. They take care of your boy.
Okay, what are your flavors?
Whatever's the hottest, I'm down. So like whatever, I forget the name of it, but like whatever, like the hottest one is pretty much what I get. I am a fan of the lemon pepper. I will say that.
Lemon pepper. I was gonna say, have you tried the lemon pepper, Jay?
I love lemon pepper.
I'm not so much a dry flavor. I like more saucy. I'm definitely a sauce guy, but lemon pepper, chef's kiss. The thing is, like, I don't really get into chains that tough, but Wingstop is good. Buffalo Wild Wings can go to hell. I don't like them at all. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
In my youth, I was a very big fan of Hooters. For the wings, I can say that honestly. I can say that honestly. I get their rep, but I was there for the wings. Like, I get my 20-piece and I leave. I'm not staying there. I did like though that the flavors, and I didn't notice that the flavors are regional, because in Jersey where I was in school, they had like, I don't know, I think it was like 911 as like the hottest, and then I went to Hooters in, I think, North Carolina or Georgia, and they had something like Hiroshima, something like that, and I was like, that's very hot,
right?
Very hot.
Yeah.
I want that.
Very hot.
I was like, I must have this, and it is. I must have it. Shout out to Hooters for making different flavors. But I digress, as I tend to do. I don't know how we got on wings. I don't know how we got on.
I know you got me on some wings. I hadn't had no wings in so long. Like, I have kind of been like, when the last time I had them, I think I made them because I discovered my air fryer makes some bomb.
Those are the best, yeah.
And so,
and you don't even feel guilty about them after.
Don't even feel guilty. So I think I'll have some this weekend. That'll be my cheat meal.
There you go.
I like it.
Some wings and some sweet potato fries.
Ooh. Such a good combo. And you can make those in the air fryer too.
In the air fryer too. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Wow. Have either of you ever been to Hattie B's? I don't know if it's only in Nashville or like Tennessee.
I have not.
Okay.
But it's like it's a hot chicken place.
Okay.
And they had like the hottest of hot chickens, which I watched my friends eat while I ate the mild chicken because I'm a baby. They were crying. I was crying from laughing.
Yeah, I can't do the spice.
Nah, like one of my wishes is to be on the show Hot Ones, where like answering questions and eating hot wings. Like that I feel like I would yeah, I would rock that show, because for me, I don't think there's any limit that I have as far as wings. So, and like I've seen some of the celebrities like get to like mild, or what I would consider mild, and like punk out. But me, I think I'll keep going.
Well, we can do that on the show if you want. If you want to challenge you, I can challenge you to eat as many hot wings as you can while
hosting the podcast.
Hosting the Stay Introverted Podcast.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'll
watch and laugh.
That would actually be pretty entertaining.
You know what? I think we gotta do it.
Let's
Stay Introverted Hot Ones Challenge. I'm down.
I won't be joining you, but I'll talk.
We'll root you on this.
We'll root for you. All right. On that note, I'm getting extremely hungry. I'm talking about wings.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's dinner time, so I'm gonna eat one of my prepped meals.
Oh, I love it. So Ashley, before we let you go, is there anything like right now that you want to plug?
Well, I've talked about the book. So the book is definitely a must read. You will certainly be inspired by not only my story, but the 28 other women who poured their hearts and souls into this book. So I'll have them available on my website probably by the end of the week for sure. So check that out at ariwarriorfitness.com. And also for anyone out there who has an autoimmune condition or knows someone who does, that needs that extra accountability and support to get healthier and fit, please send them my way. It's what I do. You know, I am that person that deals with all the symptoms that come with living with an autoimmune condition. And so I know what it's like. That's what sets me apart from other coaches, is that, I'm actually living it as well. Even though is pretty well managed, I still have my days. I still have days of pain, days of fatigue, and days of frustration where I might not be able to lift as heavy as I want or do as much as I want because of the pain. But, I have the mindset to know that it'll get better. I just got to listen to my body, allow myself rest, and keep it moving. So know that I'm a coach that understands. So feel free to reach out. I've got an amazing program that will certainly help get you on the right track to thriving and rising above your condition. And I think that's it. I think that's all I want to plug.
Nice.
Yeah. I love it. Oh my God.
Well,
yeah,
thanks
guys.
so much
thank
for
you.
having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
I learned so much. And we got some inspo as well. So.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
All right, everyone. Well, this is Ashley Nicole with the Stay Introverted Podcast. I am your co-host, Steph
Jay
Laffey.
Coleman, the wing connoisseur.
And the wing connoisseur. And if you absolutely love this episode, be sure to check us out every Tuesday on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. And don't forget to rate us a 5-star, give us 5-star review, rating, all that. And don't forget to share it with all your friends.
And of course, as always, stay introverted, y'all.
That too.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.